Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop for the 100th time. This is my 100th video today, so that's a nice little milestone that I've reached. As you can see, I've got the Delorean on the bench again. I don't have any new parts yet, but in the last video I released, which was issues 104 to 106, I did say that I was going to rip out all the bits that I put on during those issues. And what I'm going to replace it with is EL wire. So I'm going to show you guys how I terminate this, how I'm going to replace the current flux bands with this, and then we'll see how it looks. So let's get building. Right, so here we have the front of the Delorean, and you can see just tucked in there the EL wire. So we've got the blue. I've opted for the blue because it looks better in the daylight, and if I just turn it on, you can see that's how it looks when it lights up. You can see it's all constant colour, you have no dark spots or anything, so that is hopefully what we're going to be doing on the back, and we're going to be replacing these little light pipes. So all those are going to come off, the top's going to come off, and I'll show you how to do all that. So let's carry on. Right, I'm not going to show you how this all comes apart. You can just see the previous video of how it all went together, but ultimately we're taking off these two blocks here. We're taking off the bits from the underside that we done last time. So all those rear parts that you can see there. Removing the side flux bands and then replacing them with the EL wire. So I'm actually going to start by removing these top ones. And just going to undo those and release that. Now for the moment I'm just going to put those screws in there loosely. We will reuse those. I'll do the same on this one. Obviously if you've got the LEDs out here and you wanted to do this mod for yourself, you could still have a separate transformer or something hidden somewhere around the car and just run these light pipes or the EL wire in the right places, and it will still be absolutely fine. You can colour this in black, which will stop the light emitting, so if you wanted to run it along with one of the other wires or something, then it's quite easy to do that. But I've got the transformer inside the car and I've got the connections out the back, so I've pre-planned this one already. So that's now completely off. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm actually still going to use the wire that came with the LEDs. I'm just going to cut the LEDs off so that I can still trace this same wire across the back here when it comes to putting that bit back on. Okay, so this is EL wire, and the way to terminate this, because there's multiple parts to this, is I just use a pair of wire strippers, and we're just going to do that. Right, so hopefully you can see this. So what we've got is the center element, and that's covered in phosphorus. And what else we've got I just make out we've got two very, very fine wires. Just try and part those out like that. And those are the angel wires, or angel hairs. So what I do is I just fold those back, and basically we did a positive and a negative to one of these. It doesn't matter which way around it is. It's not like an LED. It'll work no matter which way the current's going. So what we need to do, we basically need to solder this to there, and we need to scrape the coating off here and solder this one to here. So what I like to do is just shorten that ever so slightly, and to make it easier for the angel wires and soldering that, I have some copper tape. And all I do is move the angel wires out the way once, wrap the copper tape around just like that, cut those angel hairs very slightly shorter, fold them over like so, and what I'm going to do is get a blob of solder onto that, just like so. So with it now like that, we want to get our wire, and as you can see, we probably want to cut one shorter than the other. It just makes it a little bit neater. So if that wire is going to sit there, we want to cut probably this much off the red wire. Though, as I said, it doesn't actually matter which one. So you can see that the wire is now just like that. I'm just going to bare that one. Just like that. I'll just put a bit of solder on there just to tin that one. And then we're going to solder the blue wire to that bit of copper and to those angel hairs, or angel wires. Just like that. And then we're just going to wrap that copper tape around that connection. Just like that. With a little bit of heat shrink tubing, just like that. So we're leaving the end of the phosphorus still available there. So we just heat shrink that one in place, like so. That's a nice strong joint we've got there now. Now with this, you can't solder direct to it, so what we need to do is we need to scrape off that end coating. So we've got this bare metal now showing. So we're just going to be soldering those two together as well. Again, ensuring we've got a nice solid joint there. Heat shrink over the top, like so. I'm going to trace it around all the holders. just like so. Up to this top one. We need the left one in this case, for this side. And I'm just going to make a bit of a loop. Now this is sort of roughed in as well, because the beauty is that it can be adjusted later. However, because I've only got one length of EL wire, I do need to just get a rough gauge of where to cut it so that I can create a new one. So I need to cut this one about here, just like so. And then I've got extra bit of wire for the other side, and I'll create that one just as way I've just shown you. And what we just need to do is just terminate the end of this. Now we've got these little caps that come, and that just goes on the end like so, just so that cable is all nice and sealed. Now I need to do this top cover, and I also need to put that bottom plate in. And again, both ends of this is now movable underneath the car, and obviously you hide a fair bit of it underneath the car. Right, so I've got these now to length. I've decided I'd take them off the car completely, because the easy option to wire this bit up is going to be to do it off the car. Try and get these in position. I'm going to just place them loosely like this. Put this cover back on. Screw that back down. Trying to ensure that the one with the wire is towards the back, or the front of the car in this case. And then this one, as you can see, it's flexible and movable. So when I run this around the car fully and screw the top ones in, then this will just sit on the bottom of the car, and I can move these along, and if there's too much hanging out here, I'll just clip off the end. Okay, so here we have the final product. So you can see that the wires are now traced nicely down the side of the car on both sides. Both parts of these are in, both of the undersides done. And we just turn them on. That's what it looks like. I have darkened the workshop as much as I possibly can, so it hopefully shows okay on camera. But I must say, in real life, it is much brighter than probably what it's showing on camera at the moment. I will just move the camera in a minute and then show you the back half here as well in close up. So here it is in close up. You can see all I've done at the moment, I've just taped it in certain places just to keep it held in that tension. You can see it disappears off under there, and at the minute you can see I've got a little bit of excess just there, so I will just end up cutting that off, but I won't do that until the side panels are in, just because if this ends up being a little bit short or I need to adjust it, I don't want that to be too short. I'd rather it be too long at the moment and try and hide it. But that's the other side. And as you can see, that is looking absolutely fantastic. And I will just bring you around to the front and show you that as well. And then we've only got the one last little detail to put in, which are the details I left off before, which are these two top caps to hide those screw covers, just like so. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to give me a big thumbs up. Delorean's looking absolutely brilliant with the yellow wire now. Certainly a lot better than the LED and filament that originally came as standard. If you want to see more of how Delorean progresses or anything else that goes on in the workshop, please do remember to hit that subscribe button and ding that bell. Then you'll be notified when I release new videos. If you want to help support the channel, I have got hoodies, t-shirts and mugs. Until next time, cheers.